Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Which of these 5 statements sounds mostly like you? 1. I often wake up in the middle of the night worrying about my future. 2. I'm angry or resentful towards a specific person. 3. I have anxious, obsessive, compulsive thoughts throughout the day. 4. I have an addiction like smoking, drinking, shopping, sugar, or social media. And 5. I feel that I'm wasting away my life. Hello, I'm Dr. Alkistis Agio, and for over 25 years, I've been coaching and training people from all over the world to transform their fears, insecurities, anxiety, and anger into mental and emotional freedom. I'm confident that my simple 3-step method based on Greek philosophy can help you to transform into the joyful, confident, free human being that you deserve to be. I want to invite you to join my weekly online coaching group to finally get the results that you want. Look, you've tried it alone so far and you've had some okay results, but let's face it, you're still feeling stuck right now, spinning your wheels. Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, unless you realize this as a fact, that you are a prisoner of your own mind, you can't move forward. I'm here to support you, as well as the whole community that we are co-creating. Stop feeling stuck. Stop feeling depressed. You don't have to do it alone, and alone isn't working anyway. Sign up today and I'll meet you on the inside of our amazing weekly group call. I guarantee that you'll make progress from the very first session.
Wow, what a powerful way to start out our new show. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and I'm thrilled to be here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Just for today, I am opening up this show because it's brand new and we have a brand new team member. This individual is so special. We met in person and I was immediately transported into the beautiful Aegean Sea, into calmness and into peace. I noticed something right away when I met Dr. Agio, that there was just this connection. We just clicked, and I reached out and I said, I'd love to meet you and talk about how we can collaborate. And here we are today. Dr. Agio is the author of this book, From Fear to Freedom. And some of what you just said, we are prisoners of our own minds. Isn't that true? We try to resolve things on our own and it's just not working. So hence we have this fabulous show. show every Monday. It is a group coaching show. That means you, yes, you out there, you can be part of it. Today, I'm going to be the guest, and Dr. Agio, who is an inspirational coach from Greece, is going to help me work through something that's really bothering me. So let's get the show started, and let's welcome our wonderful new team member, Dr. Alkistis Agio, all the way from Greece. Welcome to our show. Hello, hello.
Hello from beautiful sunny Greece.
It's so nice to have you, and I'm so thrilled to have you in my life, that we connected, we spent time together, and here you are. You're going to be helping people every single week. Thank you for taking this journey.
My pleasure and my honor to serve any one of the callers, anybody who wants to write in or call, even better. I'm here to help them with my 3-step method based on Greek philosophy.
Thank you so much. So for our audience, you are most welcome to type any comments in if you have any questions or comments, and we will be putting out the registration link so that you can be a guest, and Dr. Agio can coach you right here on USA Global TV and Radio. So Dr. Agio, before we get into the group coaching, I'd love for you to get a little information out there for our audience about why you're so passionate about bringing happiness and peace to people.
I'm very passionate about peace and happiness, especially because I believe that that's what we are born to be. We're born to be happy, fulfilled individuals so that we can contribute to society in as a process. So first we liberate ourselves, and then we can serve others and make this world a better place for more people. Because I find that a lot of the times we waste a lot of our life, a lot of our hours in the day being sad about things that really aren't worth being sad about. As the great Greek philosopher said, Socrates said, we lie to ourselves, we deceive ourselves. We're telling ourselves all kinds of limiting beliefs, the BS, belief system. We have a very limited belief system. Whether it be from our childhood, where some ideas were put into our mind. And I'm all about liberating ourselves from our limiting beliefs so we can be happy, fulfilled, and move on and help others instead of wasting time in self-misery and self-pity.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for letting me be your first guest today.
My pleasure, my honor, such a distinguished guest.
Well, I'd like to start sharing a little bit about body image. It's something that has really bothered me. And when I went over to Greece, and I shared this with you, it was really liberating to see that people were not working out until they drop over hour after hour. They were not consumed with looking a certain way or fitting into a certain mold. Whereas I feel here, and I'm just going to speak for myself, I've always felt that pressure since I was a young girl. And so at 62, watching what actually happens to my body, it's kind of like no one gave me the book and said, by the way, this is going to happen to you.
Yes, body image, that's a beautiful topic. A lot of women and men are burdened by this. It makes them sad. They don't get to enjoy an evening or their day because they're thinking, oh, I have a bulging stomach, or my breasts are too big, or they're too small, or my face, all kinds of limiting beliefs about themselves. And I do say that in Europe, especially in Mediterranean countries or countries like Brazil, being more plump, for example, is quite desired. If you're too thin in Greece, they kind of are like, aren't you going to eat anything? Aren't you going to get a little more meat on those bones? So we don't have such a fixation with being thin, and it's much more. Parents give their children a lot more, I don't say love, but just a lot more acceptance, telling their children you're beautiful all the time, you're intelligent. There's more, I don't know, I think Mediterranean parents, especially Greek parents, are very loving, and they really boost the confidence of the children a lot, and especially for body just making them feel accepted as they are, and this fixation that people have now with social media, maybe it's spreading a little to Greece too, of course, because we are not separate from the world. But it is a lot more loose and relaxed, and you don't have to be super fit. And I never heard about a six pack in my life here in Greece. These are all sad fixations, I feel.
Thank you, Dr. Agio. And we actually have a comment from Heather Joy, who's over on Facebook. Hi, Heather. Heather writes, I agree. We all deserve happiness and peace. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, I think for me, how it started was my father, whom I love very much. I was very close to him. He would say to me, and he would say it as a protection, which I have in my book, Holy but Harmful. You can never be too rich or too thin.
Mm.
And men won't like you if you are overweight. And so my entire life, for as long as I can remember, from 14, I've always been obsessed with working out. You talk about that in your 5 questions, right? About obsession. And I know I am obsessed about working out. And now the reason why I wanted to talk to you about this is I feel like I'm not able to get the same results I could when I was younger, but I'm stronger than I've ever been. And there's that dichotomy. And I like the strength part, but I don't like the way the body is showing up in the strength.
I see. So your muscles are stronger, but you're retaining more weight than you used to. Your metabolism has maybe slowed down due to menopause or such.
Yes, agreed. Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's a beautiful problem to share, and it's very brave of you to go out in the public and share this and to work through my three-step method. Maybe we can make some progress with that. So, are we ready to start the process of transformation?
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you. Please help me.
Good. So first, let's start. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. They're mainly three questions, but they have some sub questions, but they're mainly the three questions. So first, I want to know, and this isn't the question yet. I'm just getting the picture. So, what is your deepest fear? Like, what's the fear? So you are a little more plump than you were before. So your tummy is, an inch or two bigger than it used to be. So what is your real fear and frustration? What's the fear? What are you? Yeah, what are you afraid of, really?
I think I'm afraid of not being loved, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I am not interested in a relationship. I shared that with you that I've no interest in being in a relationship whatsoever. And I
Uh-huh.
think it has to do with this and
Uh-huh.
also with having ulcerative colitis and being told that I was dirty and no one could love me.
Okay, so we'll handle the part about the fat in this session, maybe another time the other issue. So you are afraid that you will not be found attractive by the opposite sex. I'm guessing you're not bisexual or lesbian.
No,
Right.
that's
So
correct.
so that men will find you unattractive. So your narrative, the story, because we have to catch the exact narrative that's going through our mind. Your mind is saying, I've got this extra inch or two on my tummy, and no man is going to find me attractive. That's the basic fear, isn't it? So I'm
Yes,
not even going to look around for a relationship because the level of man, the kind of man I want, is not going to find me attractive.
that's it.
So let's now say if that happens, if no man finds you attractive, what will be a consequence of that? So
That I
you
will
won't
be
have a
alone,
partner, you'll be alone.
which I
Exactly.
am.
Exactly. So you're going to be alone and lonely. Lonely. Because some people are alone, but they don't feel lonely. So your deepest fear is that I'm not the opposite sex. A man is not going to find me attractive. I'm going to be alone and lonely into my older age. And if that happens, so we're really digging deep into the fear, what will be like the worst consequence? Like, can you think of anything dramatic? Be
Yes.
alone, lonely, and what else?
I think I've never felt lonely, but I think I will feel like a failure as a woman because as
Mhm.
a woman, air quotes, traditional roles,
Mhm.
you get married, you procreate. And so I'm not married, I'm divorced, I have no children, I'm past the childbearing age. And so all of my energy goes into my career. But as a woman, I see myself as a failure.
Right. And what does that imply about you and your value, for example, your worthiness?
I think it has to do with seeking my father's approval from the grave
Mhm.
because I think
Mhm.
that he would have wanted that for me.
So yeah, because you've internalized your father's voice. So even if he's passed away, you have internalized the voice of you're not gonna you're a woman. As a woman, you're a failure because you weren't able to attract the opposite sex. And look at you, you're gonna be alone and lonely. It's sad to hear, but a lot of parents. I just want to share that you're not alone. A lot of children receive critical remarks from their parents, and it can be very painful. And so I understand. I understand completely. And when you believe this narrative, when you believe this inner story that you're telling yourself, how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel in the body? Just does your energy go up or down, for example?
My energy goes down. And I think what also goes hand in hand with this is
Hmm.
that for the most part, when I socialize with people, the conversations are typically about, hey, what are your kids doing? Or what are your grandchildren doing? Or what is your family doing? And mine's like, oh, I wrote another book, or we've got a great new TV show, or we got this award. And I don't feel like I am able to find that intersection of commonality because I am not married and I don't have a partner and I don't have children.
I understand. So not only are you afraid that you'll not find a man and you'll be lonely, and you're telling yourself, "I'm going to be all alone and lonely," but you're also saying, "Oh, I'm not really making a connection with people I meet. I'm not connecting with them." Um, so they won't find me friendly, and therefore they won't have a common point, and so I'm not going to really connect on a deep level with people because they don't understand me, and I don't I'm from a different world than most women. So all of this story is going on in your mind, and the philosopher Plato would say that you're a prisoner of these thoughts. You're a prisoner of your own mind, of your own thoughts. You're keeping yourself in shackles in a way. Another metaphor we can use is that of a robot, because you're repeating this inner narrative all the time, and it's like a program running on a computer. It's just on and kind of just bringing your energy down. So we here now, through my 3-step method, we want to make a transformation. We want to change that inner program. And I'm going to run you through this Socratic method. The great Greek philosopher Socrates originated this method, and by asking questions, specific questions. So, the first thing I want to tell you, I want to ask you is that story or narrative that you keep repeating to yourself, is it 100% true that you're unattractive, unworthy, um, men don't find you ever attractive? Like, even in the last couple of months, there's no man who has found you attractive. People are not connected to you. You're not making deeper connections with people. Is that story or narrative that you keep repeating to yourself, is that true? Like, if we were to say 100%, 80%, 90%, 70%, how true is it?
Thank you for the question. I think it's not 100% true because I think I do make good, solid connections with people who are in a similar phase of life as I am, meaning female business owners, for example. I think I make good connections with women who are in their own business. But I think outside of that, it is very difficult. And do men find me attractive? I've had men tell me that they find me attractive, but I don't believe them. And
Right.
sometimes people will call me beautiful or gorgeous, and I think, well, it's just a phrase. They say that to everyone.
You see, so in a way, you're lying to yourself, you're deceiving yourself because you have evidence that is contrary to your deep belief, but you choose to kind of turn a blind eye to it and to focus more on that negative or less worthy version of yourself. So this is the most important question: is what I'm telling myself true? And so this is the first step to realize that, oh my God, I have been lying to myself a bit. It's not 100% true. Maybe it's like 20% true, 10% true, but it's not 100% true. And just in that realization, when you realize it's not 100% true that I'm not attractive, that I'm, all these lies in a way you've been telling yourself, because they are lies. Like, imagine you lived with a roommate. And by the way, this roommate resides in your head rent free, as they say. If someone were to go up to you and tell you, you would say, oh, how dare you? That's insulting. How could you speak to me that way? So you wouldn't take it from a perfect stranger or someone off the street, and yet you've been believing this lie that you've been telling yourself, and you haven't rebuked it in a way. So that's the first step we need to ask ourselves, to take a time out and ask myself, is this thing that I've been telling myself that I'm not attractive, is it 100% true? No, it's very little true. There is a little truth to it, but it's not 100% true. And once we do this, that's already the first breakthrough, because it softens the whole sort of our energy. You know how you said you felt bad when you think that, and it lowers you, and in a way it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So now you're like, no, it's not really true. So it makes you feel a little lighter. How do you feel now that you realize that it's not 100% true like you thought?
I actually feel much better because I was thinking that it was 100% true and it actually isn't.
That's it. When we take ourselves a little too earnestly, and not everything we think is true. It's an old pattern, it's an old program, something we picked up, something from the media, 100 different sources, but not from our deep inner self. Now, the second question I'm going to ask, and that has to do with kindness. Is it kind? Is this narrative towards yourself? Is that a kind thing to do to yourself?
No, it's not kind at all. In fact, there's no positive quality about it. It's just like it's a haunting where you think of all the things that happen to people, and I've had a lot of bad things happen to me, but yet this seems to be the thing that won't go away. And in the big picture of everything, it's meaningless, but yet it's still there.
Right. And it's not kind. You've been
No.
unkind. We are unkind to ourselves sometimes. And this is the thing to notice, that, my God, I've been unkind. It's a kind of self flagellation. There's these religious cults, or some ancient times, people used to whip themselves, like self hatred. I'm a sinner, or whatever. So, in a way, it's a kind of self whipping, self punishment every time we have such a non loving thought towards ourselves. And in a way, we can also say it's not so kind towards your father, too. That memory of your father, because I'm sure your father didn't only say mean things to you. I'm sure that at some point there were some good things he told you, and some good things in terms of helping you grow into a beautiful human being. I mean, he couldn't be all bad, right? So, in a way, it's kind of unkind towards your deceased father and his spirit, his soul. Would you not agree?
Yes, I would definitely agree. And by the way, there's no script. This is all real. So you're
Right.
right.
Of course. Are you moved right now? Is I see some you are how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel very emotional.
And what's the reason? Is it because
Well, I think my dad loved me very much, and he was a big cheerleader for me. But there were times he would say, "Well, you did this, but you
Yeah,
could have done better, or you could have done more."
of
But
course.
I know he loved me.
And that's so wonderful that you recognize that not all of the feedback he gave you, and he was mainly do it to help you, but his intention was good, and a lot more good came from him than criticism. So I find it very beautiful that you're moved and that you think of your father, and you see that he was also kind, and thinking about him in that way is not kind to his memory and to his legacy.
It's very true.
Beautiful. So we have various realizations here that we can be more kind towards ourselves and more kind towards the other people who may be involved in our problem. There's not always another person involved, whether it be a father or a boyfriend. The whole thing in kindness and empathy and compassion is we step into their shoes and understand and really feel why they behave the way they do. And now we're going to move to the third question, which is this story or narrative useful to you? Useful. Is it useful for me to keep repeating this inner narrative towards myself? I
It's
ask you.
exhausting. It's completely and totally exhausting. There is nothing useful about it. And it's almost like I am punishing myself every day by still, it's like I fell off the treadmill about a month ago and I was going really fast. And I'm thinking, you're 62. Like, why are you going so fast with the hills? Like, what are you trying to prove? And
Right.
I don't know. I guess maybe that I don't want to accept the fact that I am older.
Right. So it's not useful to you to have these negative thoughts about yourself. It even made you fell off the treadmill. I mean, sometimes the power of these negative thoughts are so deep and even unconscious that they just lower our energy. And that's the cause of a lot of accidents and even illnesses. As we know, the word disease is from dis-ease. So it's not a useful thing to repeat this thing to yourself. It's causing disease, accidents, and general low energy. And in a way, it kind of almost attracts then all this thing that belief says, because the mind wants to always be right, and when you keep it wants to prove itself right. So it's dangerous even to think these narrative, um, because it leads to sickness, illness, and indeed, no man will find you attractive, not at all because of the body, but because of the energy, the vibes, as they say, that you are emitting, saying that I'm no good and like this. So let's go a little for a a higher level of thinking. As Plato, the Greek philosopher, used to say, let's take a bird's eye view. Let's raise our level of thinking. So, what sort of thought would you have if you were more confident? What sort of thoughts, um, yeah, would you be telling yourself? Think of people you really admire, or think of the version of yourself that is more confident. What kind of thoughts would do you such a woman have about herself instead?
If I'm referring to myself, I think I've created quite a lot of positive connections for people, collaborations for people. And I think that I've been doing things I never thought I could do before because I never thought I was creative. So I would say, you know what, you've done a pretty great job coming out of the box and leaving corporate and starting your own business.
Okay,
And
and for this particular insecurity, what would a more confident version of yourself say to yourself? And I can help you in that. What kind of thoughts a more confident woman of your age would have, or of any age? For example, I am attractive. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Or, you know what? scientific studies have proven that men, although they do look a little at the exterior, the real thing that men are attracted to is the way you make them feel and feel about themselves. And my attractiveness is not only about, perfect looks, model looks. And you can have thoughts, for example, like, um, I do have a little more body weight, but I'm still just as sexy and just as attractive. Like these kind of thoughts. So help me out here. What kind of thoughts instead of that old story? What kind of thoughts would you have? Which ones of these that I mentioned appeal to you?
I think the sexy one in that
Mm-hmm.
Marilyn Monroe was very curvaceous. I don't know what size she was, but she
Mm-hmm.
she had curves, and I know the Greek goddesses, they had curves, so I have curves, so that's kind of a good thing. I still have my hair. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So you can say to yourself, I have a beautiful smile, and you do, by the way, especially today, you're very radiant.
Thank you.
Um, I'm beautiful. I have other assets like my beautiful blue eyes, and I'm a warm person. I'm a warm-hearted person. So this kind of other narrative is, and if you had such thoughts, if these kind of thoughts were going through your mind, what would your life look like? How would your everyday interactions with men and even women be? What do you envision your life to be like if you carried yourself differently and thought differently?
The first thing, just from a physical aspect, I think I would stand up straighter. I don't stand up straight. I notice it all the time. I'm kind of just hunched over.
Mhm.
And I think that it would be a lot less stressful. I think it would give me the energy that I expend thinking these negative thoughts. It
Mhm.
weighs on me. It's heavy, and I have this disease, ulcerative colitis. Maybe it would go away even.
Mm, absolutely. Colitis is linked with stress and anxiety and poor self-image. So, so you just said a vision of yourself. Could you imagine letting go of the old narrative? Is it something near impossible, or can you imagine, just theoretically, could you imagine letting go of it? And that's just a yes or no. Could you imagine a future life having letting go of that? And if so, um, we're going to look at how soon, within a month's time, within a week's time, tomorrow, or what about right now? So let's just start with, could you imagine letting go of that? The old belief, the old narratives. Could you imagine letting go?
Yes, I can imagine it.
Okay. And in terms of time, do you need a little more time? Could you just let go of it here and now on our very interview?
I kind of have this fear coming up, and I don't know what it's about, but what's just popped into my head is maybe I'm hiding in it.
Hiding
So
in
if
what?
I'm hiding in what I'm telling myself, and if I let it go, then I won't be hidden.
So I won't be as self-conscious
Yes.
and low on energy and fearful of men.
Yes, exactly.
And you see, thank you for admitting that and confessing that. And most of all, congratulate yourself for being mindful enough to catch that thought. Those are the most important moments. We must catch them. These are thoughts. They're like thieves. These kind of thoughts are thieves. You're about to make a breakthrough, and this thief is trying to come in, but you caught him red-handed. You just caught him. I want to congratulate you on that, really, because another person first wouldn't dare to admit it. Maybe they'd feel a little pressured now, even on national television, or they wouldn't even catch that thought. So, first of all, big congratulations that you caught that thought. That's the most important part, is when we are aware and mindful of our thoughts. And that's what I call the inner work. Catching that thought red handed and saying, well, I just caught you. You're trying to steal my energy and no more. So you literally talk to that thief and say, I understand you're trying to protect me. because that thief, it's a thief, but it's also trying to protect you, because the mind, the brain just is wired for security and survival. So it figures, oh, I've kept you alive with this old pattern. Why change anything? Let's not change anything. This is a very primitive part of the mind, the reptilian mind, the fear and flight mode. So this part is trying to say, don't change anything. I've kept you alive. Tomorrow again, you'll be alive. If you don't have to change. But this part of the brain is not created to help us thrive. That is just the part of the brain, the oldest part of the brain, that is to keep you alive. But we have a new part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, and it can envision a new life, and it's capable of transformation. So you take this thought and you say, thank you, I'm ready to make my breakthrough. I want to hear you say that, Jacalyn. Thank you, I'm ready to transform my thought.
Thank you. I'm ready to transform my thoughts.
Thank you for trying to protect me, old thought patterns. I don't need it anymore. I'm grown up now.
Thank you for trying to protect me, old thought patterns. I don't need you anymore. I'm grown up now.
I'm grown up. I'm a mature, beautiful woman, and I accept my beauty as I am.
I'm a mature, grown up woman, and I accept my beauty as I am.
So this is the work. Your homework is to come up with a beautiful affirmation in this vein, in this style, that you can, when the old thought comes up, you will say, time out. Thanks for trying to protect me, but I'm not taking any more of that. My new thought is, I am a beautiful, mature woman attracting the right people at the right time, or something of this nature, a new narrative. And now that's the first part of the homework. And the second, because I want to conclude, our time is slowly running out, to make this new narrative go deeper than just the conscious level. Anyone who goes to my website can download a free guided meditation where, when you listen to this beautiful guided meditation, you will be deeply relaxed. It's going to take you to a very relaxed place where the brain is open to new instructions, and your brain is in alpha mode. It's in a receptive mode, much more receptive than we are in the conscious mode. And it's going to be far more deep, and your brain will simply be reprogrammed if you play this guided meditation for over 30 days. You'll begin to see the transformation.
Outstanding. Just for our audience members, we're putting the link here for the website, so you can go to dragio.org.
Do we have any more time, or we're just going to say goodbye now to the audience and thank them?
We have a few comments. Let me just see what they are. From Heather, thank you so much. Thank you for being vulnerable, willing to be coached live, Dr. Jack.
Very, very courageous.
Thank you. That brings tears to my eyes. Thank you.
But you may transform the life of someone else. And that's why I want to say to the audience, please call in with your questions, because your transformation can help another person who is suffering. So do it, if not for yourself, do it for somebody else. Sometimes it's easier to do something for someone else. So come in and call with your question, like Dr. Jacalyn did right now, which was very courageous of her, because you may be helping someone who's in a lot more difficulty.
Thank you so much. Dr. Agio, we have a clip about your coaching. So I just want to be clear for the audience. This is a live television show where Dr. Agio is going to be coaching people. So how do you get involved? You go to our website. I'm going to be dropping the link in a moment. You go to usaglobaltv.com, book your session, and you can sign up for Dr. Agio's wonderful program that we have here. She also has group coaching that is taking place in Greece, and she also has retreats. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
So as you said, I have weekly coaching online in a closed Zoom room, and that is every Thursday. I call it Thoughtful Thursdays. So it's like we did now, but with a group of people also sharing their problems. And they can find that on my website and on your website. as well as monthly retreats here on the beautiful Athens Riviera, which is only 15 minutes away from the airport. Once a month, I list them on my website. For example, this month, I'm going to have a retreat on the 25th of October in the beautiful castle here on the Athens Riviera. It's like being on a Greek island without even having to get into a boat. It's idyllic here, beaches, beautiful flowers all year round, a mild climate, and I hope to see you at one of my monthly retreats.
Thank you. And I can share that I was just in Greece and I'm going back next month. That's how wonderful it is there. That's the amazing connections. And it's to meet with Dr. Agio and Deborah Wooten and so many of the wonderful, beautiful women in Greece to collaborate. So please do get involved. So here are your options. You can actually come on to USA Global TV and Radio. Instead of me being here, it will be you. You will be here with Dr. Agio, and she will be coaching you using her three-step method. And she just helped me have a breakthrough. So I wish the same for you. Here is the link for that. The other options are you can go to her website, and we're going to be sharing that again right now. And you can go to group coaching. Let me pull this up. And you can sign up for group coaching, which is not on television. Okay, right. This is, as she mentioned, it's in a private Zoom room. So if you're saying to yourself, I don't want to be on TV, okay, you don't have to be on TV. You can go right here and you can be on a group coaching. Anything else about this particular page, Doctor?
No, that's fine. All the info's there.
Okay, everything is here. And then the next thing I want to share is this wonderful video. So let's take a look at this and then we'll close out the show for today.
This month, our retreat on the Athens Riviera is an exploration of love, our relationships with friends, with family, with the community, and especially love of yourself. In this retreat, we're going to release all the fears, anxieties, insecurities that you may have right now that are blocking you from receiving and giving all the love you're capable of. So join me and a fabulous group of friends here at the Athens Riviera at the beautiful castle of Melisurgos in Lagonisi. And we are going to transform ourselves into gods and goddesses of love. Great. Thank you so much for watching. Lots of love from Greece.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Well, that concludes our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. Heather, thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate it. And just to recap, this is a live show. There is no scripts. There was no pre-conversation between the good doctor and myself. So if you would like to get involved with the coaching, there's two options. The first is you can go to Dr. Agio's website, and that's for the closed Zoom room coaching where you're not on television. And that is dragio.org, ORG/group coaching. So I highly encourage you to go. I can tell you right now, I feel a lot better. I feel a lot lighter. And I love the fact that she brought up about being kind to my dad and having passed on. I think that's something I really need to do. So thank you for that. And then the next thing is you can go onto our website and you can book to be on our TV show. So instead of me being here, you'll be here with Dr. Agio. She'll be using her 3-step method, and that will help you get the clarity that you need to move on. So that link is here for people who are listening. It's usaglobaltv.com/book-your-sessions. You go to services, and then it's the Agio method with Dr. Alkistis Agio. So again, I highly recommend that you do this. I met her in Greece and I was completely transformed after our first conversation. So I don't play around. I don't waste time with people I don't think are bringing value. This is a woman who's bringing value. You can also pick up a copy of her book, which is right here. And it is From Fear to Freedom. And she's had some really high level people who have sponsored this book. I think it's the CEO of Apple. So go ahead and pick it up over on Amazon. And you can also find it. I think there's a link on her website. So we're signing off for today. I really appreciate it. And Dr. Agio will look forward to seeing you here next week, whether you are participating or you are in the audience. Either way, we really appreciate you. Thank you again for being here. And we look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.